Now, I want y'all to focus on something. I want y'all to focus on the fact that you have a guy who has a certain political affiliation. He has a certain viewpoint on society. She already knew what his viewpoint was before she got with him, because Lil Wayne is not one of these, these celebrities that blame race for everything. He's not one of these celebrities who talk about a system of oppression. He doesn't talk about how bad non-melanated people are. He's not fake like that. He's not one of these athletes who live in all neighborhoods ain't nothing but non-melanated people. They would never live in a black community, but they get on social media and act like they're fighting for the people. They're with Caucasian spouses. They have mixed kids, but they want to, point the finger about how you're not being black enough. See, Wayne is not one of those type of guys. So she already knew that part of him before she got with Wayne. And my thinking is this. If you know that the guy that you're with doesn't have the same beliefs as you, and all of a sudden he endorses, Trump, and all of a sudden you're triggered by that, that lets me know that you may have thought you could change him. You thought that because he was with you, that somehow he would change his viewpoint, that he would be against him, that he will support Biden. I mean, and that just isn't the case. And so because of that, this situation devolves. And again, they may get back together. This could be something temporary. I mean, she's still following him. She still has pictures of him on her page. She has pictures of her. This could be a temporary thing. Maybe when the election is over, a lot of these people will be a lot less stressed, because a lot of these celebrities they've been going overtime in pushing politics. Overtime. They have been doing nothing but pushing politics onto everybody in this country all year long, mainly since the summer. They have really been piling on. And I want y'all to understand something. I'm not a political person, but I don't want to be talked down to. I don't want to be told who I should support and who I shouldn't support. I've never been that type of person to give in to peer pressure. Ever. I'm not the type of person who's going to go along with everything just to be comfortable and safe. Because let me tell you something right now, there's nothing safe about giving in to peer pressure. And Wayne has never been one of those type of people. He's gotten criticized a lot due to the fact that he thinks he's different in the way that he sees the world than other people. He's not being fake. Let me tell you something. A lot of these celebrities agree with Lil Wayne. Even the women that he dates understands where he's coming from, but publicly they don't want to lose support. And I believe that in a way to keep the heat off of her, in a way, he distances himself from her by unfollowing her, because I believe she was the only person that he was following, because she was triggered and upset because she thought that people would turn on her, which happens, whenever you have a certain political belief, they're going to go at the people around you. This is how they do, who have nothing to do with what you're saying, but they will go at the people around you. And that's what happened. So he's just distancing himself from her because he knows that they may not have the same beliefs, but publicly she wants to portray this image of being sort of like a womanist, sort of being like a liberal, on left-leaning. All her friends are left-leaning. She don't want to lose any friends. But she understands Lil Wayne, once again, he's the best thing that ever happened to her. He's the best thing that ever happened to her. This is why she's always in pictures hugged up with him. He's the best thing that ever happened to her. He's all over her page. He's a self-esteem boost. Because before him, she was just a a plus size model single mother. These rappers weren't really checking for her like that. But Lil Wayne did. So that's why I believe that he could end up getting back with her. But again, we don't know. Wayne ain't staying with these chicks long term. He was just with a female earlier this year who looks similar to the chick he's with now. Because he's doing things differently. He's just doing things just a little bit differently. He's on his own, he's in his own world, so to speak. Wayne is in his own world right now, man. And for him to do the whole Twitter endorsement was a big FU to all those snowflakes on social media. Because he could have just tweeted and deleted something, and people would be like, oh, look at what he said and all that. But he put it on Twitter for a purpose, because he wanted to get to the most people, to get the most out of that reaction. But he wasn't the only one. Like I see that rapper Lil Pump is endorsing 45. He was at the rally the other night. And y'all got to understand, man, when you dealing with people like that, they don't care. Like, and people know they don't care. That's why I don't get as much heat. But when you have somebody like Wayne that has a black daughter, that has a black ex-wife, black people around them, they're going to go at those people. They're going to go at the woman that he's with because they think that they can get him to change by going to people around him. That hasn't worked yet because Wayne doesn't care. Wayne could just be with another chick tomorrow. He probably already got a few of them. It just, you got to get to a point as a man. You got to get to a point to where you don't care. You got to get to a point to where it is what it is. Whether you agree with who he's endorsing or not, you can't allow society to control who you are and how you should live your life. If that's one takeaway from Lil Wayne's situation, is that you can't allow people to tell you how to live your life. You have to be able to live your life the way that you want to live it and not have to feel like you have to live in a box because you're afraid of getting criticized. And I think Wayne has showed more than anybody that he's not afraid of the criticism. He's okay with it. He's made peace with it. And a lot of men should get to that point.
Wayne don't chase, he replace.
Thanks, Black Rain. And that's what he has done. Like, again, he was with a whole nother female earlier this year, engaged to her. And that fell through. And he's now with somebody who really is glad to be with him. She says she's really glad to be with him. This is why she hasn't taken pictures of him off her social media, because he's still the best thing that ever happened to her. He gave her that self-esteem boost she never really had. I don't care how big of a following these women have. I don't care how many thirsty males are in the comment section. They get satisfaction and they get validation from being able to be with one of these rappers or one of these athletes. You can say whatever you want about Wayne. One of the weirdest things is when I see grown men talking about Wayne's looks. That to me is weird. Like, why do you care about how he looks? You dudes are weird, okay? I never talk about a dude. I don't care how these dudes look. What does that have to do with anything? He's still a multi-millionaire rapper, entrepreneur, helped launch careers of some of the biggest names in music. Drake, Nicki Minaj. For a while, Tiger was hot. I mean, look back in 2010, 2011, 2012. I mean, I was wearing those Last King hats back in the day too. Okay? So, ultimately, if this has shown me one thing, it has shown me that Wayne, to me, is somebody who has settled into what his life is now. He's okay with not being the best rapper. He's not trying to hang on. He's just doing what he wants to do, man. This dude had a woman in her late 40s who he was dating on the side. I remember that video I did. Do you think Wayne? And then she put him on full blast, and Wayne went about life like ain't nothing going on. You think Wayne cares about? Man, come on, man.